Are you 40, 45, 50, and you have nothing or very little saved for retirement? Studies show that over 50% of Black and Latino households have no retirement savings. How much have you saved for your retirement? We work so hard and we look forward to the time when we can sit back and relax and enjoy the fruit of our labor. But at the end of the day, does that dream ever become a reality?
Turning 40 this year and everything is just hitting me right now. It's like not where I wanted to be.
Dear younger self, save for retirement as much as possible.
We don't have to get to 40 or over 40 and be like that woman that we just watched in the clip. Hello everyone, my name is Dear Kola. I have lived in Canada for over 25 years. Welcome back to this side of life. And if you're new here, welcome to the Wise Tribe and thank you all for joining me today. So in today's video, we are breaking down 3 of the biggest mistakes or assumptions that many African immigrants make that leave them over 40 with little or nothing saved for retirement. These are things that you may not even realize that you are doing. So stay with me to the end of this video because I will be sharing a simple shift that you can make and start today that could completely change your financial future no matter where you are starting from. The number one mistake or assumption that we make is that retirement does not need planning. Generally, as Africans, we don't plan very well. Like, we just let things happen to us. And this is also the same when it comes to retirement. Many of us do not put money aside for retirement. You know, I remember back in Nigeria, I didn't hear a lot of talk about retirement, maybe because I was very young back then. But no, I didn't hear a lot of talk about retirement or retirement planning. You know, our parents back then would work in a job and they were expected to just work that job, retire at that job and get their pension. There was nothing like personally planning for your retirement. You were always depending on government pension and maybe pension from your place of work. So people did not have this mentality of actually being intentional and planning for their retirement. The one thing I know that people aspired to do back then was build a house. It was very, very important to build a house, to have your own, personal house, your own personal building. And that was something that people planned for, people worked towards. But in terms of retirement planning, outside of government or your work pension, people would depend on their children. Like, your children will take care of you in your retirement. But the problem with that is that, number one, your house is not liquid. Like, when you get older, you cannot get money out of the house unless, of course, you sell it. Your house will not put food on your table, will not give you the money that you will spend in your old age. And also, on the other hand, the world is changing and relying on your children for your retirement is not something that you can really bank on these days. The children have their own life to live, and as a responsible person, you need to also plan for your own retirement outside of your children. Many of the things that we assume are no longer true in the world we live in today. The second assumption that people make is that the pension will be there. I have heard many stories about pensioners in Nigeria, for example, who go and line up to get their pension, and some of them don't even get it, or they try and some of them pass away while waiting for their pension to be paid. And even in countries like Canada and the US, we hear all the time the uncertainty about what the status of the social insurance programs, like for example in Canada, the Canada Pension Plan, what will it be like when somebody like me is ready to retire in like 10, 20 years time? Will that fund still be there? Will it be enough? And even the people that are on the social insurance today, we hear from them that the amount that you get is nothing to write home about. So yeah, you can be eligible for pension, like Canada Pension Plan, for example, social insurance in the States, but will that money be enough for you when you get to that age of retirement? That is a big question that we all need to ask ourselves. And we need to ask ourselves sooner than later. And the third thing is that people make the mistake of thinking that there's only one option for them. Only one option for them in their retirement. Like, for example, it's only my social security, or it's only my Canada pension plan, for example. Or I can only retire by going back to my home country or to my village, for example, to retire. I think that we need to consider all the different options that are open to us and not just be a one-track minded person. And it's either I do it this way or there's no other way. We have to look at all the different options that are open for us in terms of how we retire, where we retire to, and what we do in our retirement. So my point is to sound the alarm that we need to intentionally have a plan for our retirement. Your work pension or the government pension is not going to be enough, and you need to start planning as soon as possible. My question to you is, have you started planning? I was reading a comment the other day and somebody said, "Oh, you mean you haven't retired?" I thought you were retired. Oh, well, I am not retired, but I am definitely actively planning my retirement. And I will let you know when I do retire. But no, I am not yet retired. So if you are 40, 45, 50, and you haven't started that plan, I just want to say that it is never too late. You can do it. And all you need to do is to believe in yourself and to believe that it's possible. Just because you are over 40 doesn't mean that you cannot start now. Like the proverb says, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, but the next best time is right now. So right now is the time to start planning for your retirement, if you haven't started already. So for the rest of this video, I just want to talk about a few things that you can do to get started. The first thing is to get informed. I know many of us, we want people to, find out the information for us. We want people to do it for us, like they say, Bamishe spirit, right? But you need to get out there and get the information for yourself. There's so much information on the internet. There's so much information everywhere about how much you need to retire depending on your age, and how much you need to be putting aside, how much you need to save, what you need to do to be able to retire. So the first thing is, do your research. I know I say this all the time, but it is very, very important to do your research to find out the information that you need for yourself, because you cannot just say somebody did something and so I'm going to do it. Your situation is peculiar. Your age, your current situation, your current income, where you live, what you do for a living, and things like that. There are so many variables that are peculiar to you as a person that makes it important for you to do your own research and find out what is going to work specifically for you. The second thing to do after you've gotten all the information is to plan how you will start putting money away. I mean, the one thing that is inevitable about planning for retirement is that you have to put money away for the future. And you need to invest in things that go up in value, like the stock market, for example. The closer you are to your retirement age, the more money you need to put away, because it is compounding interest, right? For example, you can put money in the S&P 500, which is an index fund, and which has returned an average of 8 to 10% over the years. Let's assume you want to retire at 65. Just assuming. I know some people want to retire earlier than that. I did do some calculations on that, and what I found is that if you are 40 today and you want to have $1 million by the time you are 65 in your retirement, you need to put away $1,051 per month from now till the time you retire to be able to have that money if you put it in the S&P 500 index fund. And that is just continuously putting that money away every month so that you can get that amount at the end of, in that case, 25 years. It is very important to start as soon as possible. So if you are watching me and you are not even 40 yet, you need to start. Even if you are 20, no matter how small, putting money away is very important because of compound interest. The earlier you start, the better compound interest will work for you. Also, apart from investing in the stock market, we also have retirement savings. Like in Canada, you may work for an employer who will match your RRSP contributions. You should take advantage of that. The similar thing in the US is the 401k. If your employer is going to match your contribution, then take that opportunity to amplify your contributions so that you can take advantage of compounded interest. You also need to reduce your liability and increase your income. Let us stop spending money on things that go down in value. For example, consumer goods, clothes, shoes, bags, cars. Don't overspend on cars. In my own opinion, you don't need to buy a new car. You can buy a used car and invest the difference in your retirement fund. So yeah, is there something else you can do? Can you do a side hustle to get more money? Can you reduce how much you spend on certain things? The goal is to reduce your expenses so that you can put more money away in retirement. And also, you need to be disciplined. This whole thing we're talking about requires a lot of discipline and commitment. And one thing that can help you to do that is a budget. I cannot overemphasize the importance of a budget. You need to budget, tell your money where it should go, rather than wonder where it went. At the beginning of the month or at the beginning of the week or however works for you, sit down and plan how you want to spend your money. This is how much is coming in, this is how much is going out. And make sure that you include your savings in your budget so that you already know that you are going to save this amount of money before the money even gets into your hand. That is the best way to actually ensure that you save. And you need to be consistent. You need to develop the habit of budgeting, of saving, of planning for your retirement, and paying attention to your personal finances. Another thing you need to do is take care of your health. This is very common, especially with us Africans. We just don't take it as seriously as we should. Take care of your health. Go for your annual checkups. Make sure you are seeing the doctor and making sure that everything is okay. Do the tests, the regular tests. Move your body. Eat healthy. And make sure that you are taking care of your body. Of course, it's not by power or might. It's not because of anything that we do. But let us do our part and take care of our health. And also trust God to keep us healthy as well, so that we are alive to spend all this money that we are saving when we do retire. And finally, take care of your spiritual health as well. What does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? We don't want to lose our soul. So as we are taking care of our body, of our health, let us take care of our spirit as well and live our lives in a way that's pleasing to God. And I think if we do all that, we are in a good shape to be ready for retirement and when the time comes to retire well. Before I end this video, I want to leave you with some advice that some older people have for their younger selves. And I think that will really help us to put things in perspective about saving up for retirement.
Save for retirement as much as possible.
Don't cash out all your 401k at once.
Open up a Roth IRA and learn how to invest.
Don't pile up debt.
Hold on to my investment portfolio.
Save more and give less.
Your home is one of your biggest assets. Protect it.
Very interesting. Let me know what you think about what these elderly ones had to say about retirement and what they wish they had known in their younger years. All right, that's it for today. How is your retirement planning going? Are you on top of it, or do you still need to start? What do you think about what I have said in today's video? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know whenever I upload new videos. Also, stay tuned to this channel for much more interesting content coming your way. Until I come your way again, until the next video, you go out and make it the best days of your life. Bye!